What's up, guys? My name's KhaoticK, back at you guys with a little one today. Today we're coming at you with a new substance review. And in this substance review, we're going to be reviewing DOM. And yeah, so this is my first, DOX series drug that I've tried. And yeah, DOM was fairly nice. It actually had a lot of similarities to 3CP, which is another amphetamine psychedelic that has a amphetamine ring, or at least part of the amphetamine molecule attached. But yeah, it got me high and lifted. It was weaker than expected, but I only took one tab my first time, so which was 1.25 milligrams. So apparently you need like upwards to like 2.5 to 3 milligrams to trip. So that made sense. But yeah, it felt similar to LSD, but definitely almost exactly like 3CP. Honestly, it really was no different. The biggest difference also for me was that the tab tasted chemically, tasted nasty, bro. And I was like, what the fuck? But I was like, okay, yeah, if it's bitter, it's a spitter, that, as they say. But I knew I wasn't taking acid, so I was like, okay. But it's interesting because I definitely never tasted acid that tasted like that. So yeah, I got lucky. I never tasted acid like that. I always had real deal acid. Acid's supposed to taste very faintly, kind of like electrically. I don't know. It's really hard to describe, but acid has no taste at all. But it does kind of leave your mouth kind of feeling a little electric. I don't know. It's really weird, but you don't understand if you took a lot of acid, especially when you take like 10 tabs in your mouth. You're going to feel something from that acid. It just makes your tongue tingly. So yeah, it was interesting, but this was like a bitter chemical taste. And I was like, ugh. Yeah, it does not taste good. So that's not his strongest suit there. But the experience took, pretty long to kick in. It took up to like 3 to 4 hours, right? Obviously, because it's a longer acting psychedelic. And I felt effects upwards to like 18 hours, but those were after effects at that point. It really cut off around 16 hours. It doesn't last that long, I would say. 3CP actually lasted a lot longer than DOM for me. So, and 3CP is also a mescaline analog. So yeah, they're both mescaline analogs, which is cool. And yeah, so they both feel very similar. So I would assume DOB probably feels similar and all of the other DO series drugs. So are we going to try them all? Probably not. I did find a source for DOB though. I might get that, but we'll see. I don't know. I'm not really interested in tripping almost 24 hours because DOB can, I looked at the trip length there, and it could last that long, so I don't want to be strapped into a psychosis, you know what I mean? But yeah, anyways, DOM, yeah, it felt very, very nice, tranquil, serenity, that's why it's also known as Serenity, Tranquility, and Peace, STP. And I actually got what they meant now. But yeah, it's very calming. It's not gonna make you have a bad trip, really. I'm sure if you take too much, I don't know. The visuals were really faint because it wasn't really a long trip. It wasn't even really a strong trip. It was just one tab. And I had checked the dosage chart and I was like, oh shit, that was like a low dose. So yeah, I took a low dose, but fuck it. I liked how it felt. I want to try 2 tabs of it to see if I start tripping. But yeah, the visuals were nice. They were very mescaline-like, a little more, I don't know, kind of pronounced. It made your vision a lot more enhanced. And I don't know, it's kind of interesting. Phenethylamines have a tendency to kind of ever so slightly spread apart your vision, you're almost able to see more details. I like that a lot. And yeah, so very, very good, very, very good drug. I would say to take on a weekend that you don't have nothing to do, you'd be less likely to have a bad trip. Definitely, but watch out because these amphetamine psychedelics, they have the tendency to kind of invoke some weird reactions in some people. So if you're a sensitive individual to psychedelics already, I would be advised with this one. But if you can handle yourself pretty well, I would say this drug is more suited for people that are experienced with psychedelics. If you want to, try phenethylamine, mescaline kind of analog that you've never tried before that actually won't give you a bad time, try 2CB. 2CB is always the best beginner psychedelic. It is also related to mescaline chemically, so yeah, that's a better option. And it does not last that long. It lasts 6 hours, so it's also a favorite for people that don't want to trip that long. Say if you like shrooms more than acid, then 2CB would be probably more in your ballpark. So yeah, That's a better replacement. I actually did 2CB on the tail end of the DOM trip too, and it brought it back, bro. I started feeling the DOM a little more, but at that point I was feeling the 2CB more. I snorted some 2CB, and that shit kind of hurts, but it doesn't really hurt that bad. It was the HBR version, so yeah, don't be snorting the HCl version of 2CB. But yeah, the 2CB brought the trip back. It actually added the visuals I was actually trying to get. So I really, really enjoyed that. But yeah, so very interesting experience, I would give it, let's say, I give it a 9 out of 10 because I like drugs that are chill. I like drugs that don't really, some drugs have a low profile. Like this is a very low profile drug if you're taking like a low dose, meaning that dose could make you more sociable in a social setting. It can make you, kind of get out of yourself, get out of your head, if only for that one night or day. But yeah, very fun drug. I would definitely try it. And leave it down in the comments if you guys have ever tried DOM. And honestly, I would not recommend it. Just get some real acid, bro. Just keep it right there, bro. You don't really need to do all this shit. This is just for the entertainment, bro. I would not really recommend it. I don't know. I would rather do acid. In my personal opinion, acid would be better. To some people, the shrooms could be better. But yeah, I love me some good acid. But yeah, DOM. Very interesting drug. I liked it. I liked it a lot. But I would say, honestly, because for me, visuals are a really big thing with me. It's weird for a drug to kind of hit you so slightly that you don't really get any visuals. I could tell that even if I took a normal dose of that DOM, I wouldn't really trip as much as 2CB even. Because it's not a very visual drug. I'll say that right now. DOM, I'm going to be honest, it's really not that visual. I guess maybe it could be if you push the dose. I don't want to take a bunch of tabs of something I haven't tried before, so that's why I didn't do that. Honestly, I'm going to have to try that shit again in a higher dose. But again, in a low dose, it's very functional. You could probably combine it at a rave. I don't know. I would not advise that either, though. I don't even know why I said that. But I would say that, again, like, you know how people are taking fucking drug cocktails anyway, right? I don't really think this would really do much to you other than boost maybe, like, say if you took that and then 2CB at a rave. That's perfect. Honestly, you're not going to have no bad reactions. It might be a little too much on your serotonin, though, so please be advised there. You might get a little nauseous. But what I mean by that is take it at the very end of the DOM. It will boost it back. But you don't want to take it like during the peak of DOM. That's where you're going to throw up. So you got to time it. So I understand, like, yeah, that's a pretty good combo, in my personal opinion. Oh, and yeah, DOM mixed with GHB, of course. I couldn't leave that out. GHB goes with so many psychedelics pretty well. It does kind of kill the effects, like the visuals, but it does enhance the, like, mental aspect. The GHB I have is fucking trippy on its own. It's very, very light. It puts you in, like, a dream-like state, so you kind of already feel like you're altered, almost like psychedelic. So that's why they kind of go together pretty well, because GHB kind of feels dissociative, like, in a tiny way. It's way more like alcohol, though. But you know how alcohol also kind of feels dissociating, like, in a way, you know what I mean? So they probably act on a similar receptor. Or, because you're so intoxicated, it tricks your brain and it feels like it's disconnected from itself. That's probably what it is. But other than that, anyways, DOM was fucking lit, okay? So if you're into 3CP, if you're into a better feeling 3CP, I definitely felt like 3CP was a little more cold and, like, I don't know. It just kind of felt a little less comfortable. This is a little more comfortable. Like, DOM is a little more comfortable for the body load, although for some people that could be different. For me, it was good. So maybe I have a good quality DOM. But yeah, the body load is the biggest thing. You're going to have to watch that. And that's dependent on dose and maybe some reactions. I don't know. But yeah, it definitely felt more comfortable than 3CP. However, because it shares a lot of similarities with it, it's also dark and callous. Like, it's a little, like, not it's not that euphoric of a trip. It's kind of like dark. I don't know. You would understand if you tried it. It's not gonna like bring you up as much. It's gonna kind of, it's gonna kind of make you tranquil. That's why it's also known as STP. So, yeah, if it's tranquil, don't expect it to be that big of a trip. But obviously, if you take a bigger dose, that's where you want it, right? So, very interesting substance. But yeah, I'd really be interested in hearing your trip stories about it. So leave it down in the comments. Leave a like, subscribe, and share on the video. But yeah, a lot more substance reviews coming on the way. Fucking lit here, bro. And I hope you guys will stay high, stay lifted. Again, DOM, I would recommend it. Just don't overdo it, and you should have a good time. Again, if you're more sensitive, I would skip it just to be safe. I would honestly not really expect these amphetamine psychedelics to be better than the traditional psychedelics, the holy trinity, LSD, DMT, and shrooms. So stick to that, I would say. Those I can recommend. Very, very big, very good safety profile. So anyways, I hope you guys are staying high, stay lifted. Hope you guys are going to have a good one. I hope you guys are going to have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.